we're talking about, just having a guy, and I feel like before they decided Cena was going to be the guy, I don't really feel like between the Hogan era and the Cena era, I don't feel like there was, one guy. I feel like there were a couple guys that were carrying that weight, especially with the likes of Austin and The Rock.
Austin was the guy. The Rock was always number 2 until Austin got hurt.
But I'm just saying there's never been a span that long where there's just been one guy between those two eras.
Well, there's never been, because Cena was the first guy that just didn't die. Like all the other top stars, they only had a couple of years at the top. At the most.
Right.
Even Hogan, he had less years at the top than Cena has. Cena's really the first one that's just been forever. I mean, since like Bruno Sammartino or something like that. But it's just like, and I don't think that. I just think people realize that that's just not what they want. No matter what, it could have been anyone. You think Stone Cold Steve Austin, 15 years at the top, you get sick of it.
Yeah.
Anybody. Especially a guy like John Cena, who was never as cool as those other guys.
I think the other thing is Cena is such a yes man. Like, he never says no to anything. And he's always just willing to, I don't want to say roll over for the company, but he's always willing to do what's asked of him, And I think that's why he was put in such a predominant position for so long.
Let's say... Oh, go ahead.
This is just my last thing. I think Cena was put into that position... Excuse me. I think all of this started when Austin walked out. At least in my opinion. I think when Austin walked out, Vince said, you know what? We're not going to make anybody else a marquee. We're going to make the WWE brand the marquee. So we could replace any of these guys with anybody and it not hurt us. And I think at that point, that's when they're like, okay, we got John Cena. He's really, he can be anybody. He can be anyone we make him into. And he was. He had like about 5 different characters over the span of his run at the top.
Right.
He could be anyone we make him. The guy can be anybody. That's what they want now. They want someone who can't just leave tomorrow and like shake the foundation to its core. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They just want to they want the WWE brand to be strong.
We've seen that over the years though with signing indie guys, they make everybody change their name. Or we've seen this where they're signing people to try and make them stars that aren't even wrestlers. They're trying to completely put a stranglehold on, like you said, nobody's bigger than the WWE. So, I mean, it's not just... I don't think it's not just the guys not, being able to get over. It's...
They're not allowed. I really don't think
I think that's part of it, too. I think that's why, even though I still think CM Punk was probably one of the most over guys of the modern time.
But think about it, just like that.
But
CM
that's
Punk.
why he never got that WrestleMania main event. That's why he never went out on top at WrestleMania. It was those sort of situations, and I think there's just too much politics.
Too much.
And you should be trying to make these guys bigger than the company. You should be proud of the fact, like they do with The Rock. They love The Rock because he's become, one of the biggest actors in Hollywood.
Yep.
But his foundation was the WWE.
Correct.
You should be wanting everybody to be that.
Crossover appeal?
Yeah. I think that's why The Miz is such a great character, is because, he found his footing before he even really got to the WWE. He was a household name already. Arguably. Okay. And then, you market him as the most must-see champion of, history. And he can go and he can do all the talk shows. He can do this, that, and the other thing. He can go and he can go back to MTV and tout, WWE champion. He can do that. I think you need that. Or like a guy like Batista, who's major. I don't want to say major star, but he's a rising star in Hollywood right now.
much.
Yeah.
Batista's
got
big
Blade
now.
Runner.
Batista's big now. He's getting big now. I just saw he had a little video on social media, just like him and Sylvester Stallone, just like hanging out. Batista's up there now.
He's getting there. You can tell a household name yet, but
you can tell that you can tell that they didn't think he was gonna get that big, but he's gonna.
Never thought it too.
But the thing is, like they need to be very careful because a guy like the Miz, sooner or later, he's going to. I think Miz could really cross over into like serious Hollywood.
I hope it happens.
You know what I'm saying? Like serious type Hollywood, like big shit. And at that point,
I hope it happens.
He's gone.
Right.
Like Miz,
I don't think that's a problem though. I think
Miz is a WWE guy through and through now. But if he ever gets to the point where he's really getting serious Hollywood roles, he's gone.